From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big day as several live feeds are underway. The President of the United States just addressed the American public. We went live with that video, but I'll show you the replay of it right now. Also live underway right now is testimony from Janet Yellen, your Treasury Secretary to Joe Biden. Guess what? She said forced stimulus will be paid by raising your taxes. Meantime, big question about third stimulus, the $14 stimulus check. Those questions were asked as well. I have the answers additionally. Elsewhere, incredible great news as your stimulus package is providing a lot of relief to other countries around the world that will ultimately buy your goods. This is all great news. The movie industry starts to reopen. The President of the United States addresses violence. Gaming industry continues to resurge. Meantime, there's questions around the clock about what's going on tomorrow. Guess what? Tomorrow's the big day. $14 stimulus checks land in your bank account tomorrow. And what's important for viewers to understand, and yet I still deliver the news, is that tomorrow and this week is the final day to receive stimulus check. After that, it will be arriving by paper check. I have all the updates about your $14 stimulus check and your third stimulus check, and we'll go live into that feed with Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen still underway right now. As noontime LA kicks up its heels and goes into its first hour, starting right now from Santa Monica. Good afternoon. How are you? This is Noontime on LALATE, home LALATE. And what you're watching right now is a live feed. The current banking committee or the oversight committee for the Treasury Department has been interviewing Janet Yellen, your Treasury Secretary, and Jerome Powell all morning long. And let's jump into that live feed right now. There have been incredible revelations, I'm going to recap for you shortly. But let's listen in for a short period of time, and then I'll give you the big updates. It's all about your stimulus. Let's listen in to some of the comments.
Congratulate in the strongest way Secretary Yellen. It's what an honor to have a woman now running Treasury. It's very, very exciting.
And his feed broke up. Not my feed. Well, that's what happens when you're dealing with the legislators. Sometimes their feed doesn't work. But let me tell you what's going on. Oh, now he has some action.
Scolds about deficit
well,
spending.
Let me tell you what happened this morning so far with the elected officials. Janet Yellen was asked about the third stimulus, and then she was asked about fourth stimulus, and this was her revelations. First, she said that fourth stimulus, the next stimulus package, is going to get paid by raising taxes. A new report released minutes ago says the President of the United States and Nancy Pelosi will raise Americans' taxes to pay for the fourth stimulus package, and these are the taxes they will raise. Capital gains taxes they will raise, wealth taxes they will raise, and also the estate tax they will raise. So not just taxes for the wealthy, taxes for everyone. Again, capital gains taxes up, wealth tax up, and also raising it from the estate tax. Will Democrats support it? Actually, Democrats have already said they will not support it unless they get Republicans on board. Republicans are not going to support that. And number two, other Republicans said they would not support the fourth stimulus package if it does not pay for itself. And if you try to do it with taxes, they will not support it. So is the president going to get support from his own party to do this? It's going to be very dramatic. If you're asking me to predict it right now, no. But we shall see. I've seen crazier things. But the crazy things include $1,400 third stimulus checks, which you thought were coming by direct deposit, are coming in the mail. I have all those details starting right now. But first, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single minute across the board. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Wow, it's been a big, full day, and let me tell you what's going on. First, $1,400 third stimulus checks will be landing in direct deposit today, the 23rd, tomorrow, the 24th, and the 25th as well. And that's it. And that is it. IRS has now indicated. A wave of stimulus checks, a second wave, was sent out this Friday. IRS confirmed yesterday. The effective date of those stimulus checks, the 24th, meaning that that's it. Meaning that is the final deposit. You will not get an alert before it appears. It will just appear. If it doesn't appear, it's coming in the mail, even if you are expecting it by direct deposit. The 24th is the effective date of the check. So some banks have decided to release the funds ahead of time. We saw in the video before this, Green Dot was among those banks that is releasing the funds ahead of time. Which banks are not releasing the funds until the 24th or the 25th? The 24th is Chase and Wells, and I predict that the big banks will release the funds on the 24th because they did it last week on the 17th. IRS has made very clear, and I'm trying to make it very clear to you as well. If you don't see the funds post for direct deposit this week, it's in the mail. It is in the mail. And that is it. If you were expecting it by direct deposit, because the first one came by direct deposit, because the second one came direct deposit, this one may come by the mail. And this is the latest update and the most up-to-date information from IRS. Let's join into what Janet Yellen's saying right now about your stimulus and the economy.
To companies that investors need to channel their capital to in the right directions.
Mr. Chairman, so what about those risks to businesses and financial institutions? Mr. Chairman.
So we see this through a different lens appropriately from the Treasury Department, and that
You're watching Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve right now.
advise banks and some other institutions to assure that they're understand and are managing the risks that they're running in their business. And we don't have a new mandate. That's what we do. And climate change is an emerging risk. So we're looking at it carefully. We actually are just in the very early stages of considering stress scenarios, and that's what others are doing too. It's an emerging idea. It's not actually something that people are conducting now, but we're doing that and many other things to get a basic understanding of how the financial system can be resilient against what may be very significant emerging risks over time.
Well, thank you. Yesterday in the Foreign Affairs Committee, we talked to David Beasley, the World Food Program.
Let me explain to you what Jerome Powell said a few minutes before I went on air, but after his live comments, which you saw on Mornings LA. These are very important. First, Jerome Powell told Broadcast News during this live feed that, one, the inflationary concerns of this economy are not a concern, that we've been 25 years without inflationary worries, and that because unemployment is not improving, because labor numbers are still not good, there should be absolutely no worry to the markets or you about inflationary pressures long term. He said you may see a little bit of spike in some prices over the summer in the next few weeks as restrictions are lifted for COVID. But he says do not worry because they will then settle back down. Great news. He also said that the Federal Reserve will not change its policies for stimulus anytime soon because he does not see the type of a robust growth that anyone would expect. He expects robust growth to start kicking in the middle of next year, not now. So both great news statements from the Federal Reserve Chairman to this banking committee on the House just minutes ago. That was the Jerome Powell. Then Janet Yellen, your Treasury Secretary, was asked a lot of very, very difficult questions. And let me tell you some of her answers to those difficult questions. That's Janet Yellen right there. First, one of her answers was during the commercial, between the videos today on LALATE, was that stimulus, the fourth stimulus, will include infrastructure and that it will be paid by raising taxes. A new report out at the time of her remarks said that Janet Yellen and the White House are working on raising your taxes by estate taxes, capital gains taxes, inheritance taxes, and also wealth taxes to pay for another round of stimulus, which includes infrastructure. Yellen was also asked specifically about this confusing factor about why did Treasury only extend the deadline for filing the 2020 tax return by 1 month when there's so much confusion in the current situation. Let me explain the confusion. One, you're missing a first or second stimulus check. Second, maybe you're missing a third stimulus check you think next week. You don't think about now, but maybe you think about next week. You're missing a third stimulus check next week. How do you fix that? IRS has yet to get that advisory. Treasury has yet to get that alert. Next, what about that $10,200 that was tax-free for unemployment last year? Treasury says we have yet to get that advisory. We're about to get that as well. Also, how about if there's that child in the household? You're worried that Treasury doesn't know about that child because you want that $5,000 because they're 5 or newborn, or you want that $4,400 if they're 17 to 6. How do you get that information to Treasury? Treasury hasn't provided that information as well. Also, what if you're worried about the hazard pay or the earned income tax credit or the paid sick leave or the $1,700 of financial aid? That question to Treasury was maybe the deadlines need to be extended. She said, not just yet. Wow. Also really surprising, which was not in the video with Treasury, but I do want to go over it right now because it just happened minutes ago. The CDC was asked, what about the eviction moratorium that is set to expire in just a few days? CDC says we'd like to extend it, but we haven't gotten clearance. And when the White House was asked whether the White House will do an extension of the CDC eviction moratorium, the White House declined comment. Wow. Okay. A lot of shocking developments. Let me cut back to the $14 stimulus check. This is where you are on your $14 stimulus check. Every viewer of this channel, for every bank, for every credit union, for every benefit, for every age, for every state, for every location. This is you. There's no exception to what I'm about to tell you. This is you. The advisory came from IRS yesterday. They're the people sending the stimulus check. They're the one paying you. They know how they're paying you. And this is their statement. A wave of stimulus checks was sent out last Friday. It's this wave. The effective date of the payment, March 24th. Banks may release the funds to you before the 24th, if that's their policy, or they'll release it to you on the 24th. A large percentage of you expecting direct deposit will not get it by direct deposit. You will instead get it by the mail. And that if you do not get it by the 24th by direct deposit or around that time, watch the mail. That's IRS's distinct advisory to you. Now, I already knew this, and you already knew this because we found this out over the weekend. I reported this exclusively on Saturday, and the IRS just confirmed the details yesterday. Viewers of this channel saw that on the weekends, viewers who bank at Chase were getting alerts that there's a big drop of stimulus checks on March 24th. Then Wells, they got a big alert of March 24th. They also got an alert that there was going to be a big drop of checks in the mail, the 26th. And then the checks started coming. They started coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. These are the important things you need to know as you go into the afternoon. First, today is the 23rd. Checks could appear today. Second, tomorrow's the 24th. Checks could deposit at any time throughout your account tomorrow. Number 3, you will likely not get an alert before it appears. This is very important. This is very, very important. You will likely not get an alert before it appears. Finally, it doesn't make a difference what happened with the first check or the second check. This is the third check, and the third check may not come in the direct deposit. Finally, the most up-to-date information is IRS. It's not your bank. It's not the bank website. It's not the call center. It's not the teller. It's not the person on the phone that you call in. The most up-to-date information is IRS. So if IRS says they are doing something, that is the most up-to-date information. The only thing that could be different or be more robust is that the bank sees it pending and can tell you the day it's clearing. Other than that, banks are telling you it's coming in a couple of weeks from now. It's untrue. Banks are saying it's going to deposit in a few weeks. Untrue. It's depositing this week, and if it doesn't deposit this week, it's appearing in the mailbox. Let's cut back to Janet Yellen, who's now live again, answering some more incredible questions from actually one of the problem solvers.
There are a lot of options that have been presented, and I would work with you to try to ensure that the inequities that this caused are remedied in a fair and responsible way. As you mentioned, there's a bipartisan proposal to repeal the cap. President Biden discussed a proposal that would cap itemized deductions at 28%. The caps could be increased. So I think we need to study just what impact it's had and look forward to working with you to find a fair way to address it.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, and I really look forward to working with you too on that. If I just one other item, given the number of rural locations throughout the country, including in my district, that still don't have true broadband connectivity, I believe the Treasury should make sure any American Rescue Plan Act broadband infrastructure dollars are targeted to truly underserved areas, right, to avoid overbuilding. For example, according to a recent survey by the census, only 69% of residents in White Township in my district had broadband connectivity. So even in northern New Jersey, there's lots of places that don't have connectivity or very limited connectivity. I was wondering, based on the legislation that was just signed into law, will you commit Treasury to using the authority Congress gave it to see that broadband funding is spent first and foremost on underserved areas and avoid overbuilding?
I'm not sure that we have the ability under the law to impose that kind of restriction, but I will look at it. And I'd also mention that the ARP contains a coronavirus capital projects fund.
Yes.
It's $10 billion that can also be used to fund broadband infrastructure. So there's quite a bit of money in the ARP for infrastructure, and I will look at what can be done.
I was thrilled about that. Obviously, something I fought.
What you're watching now is a live feed from the House floor of the Treasury Department and the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve indicated earlier during the live feed, which has actually been in the hours now, been several hours long, indicated that inflationary worries are not there, that the Federal Reserve will continue to support this economy, that the support for this economy through stimulus that the Federal Reserve is using, its instruments, which are buying treasury yields, buying mortgages, and also keeping interest rates flat, will continue in place till next year. All really, really, really great news. No change across the board. And the IRS and the head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said, you may see a little spike in prices for a short period of time later in this year, but then it'll come back down. Meantime, Janet Yellen was asked about the issue of forced stimulus, the next stimulus package, and did confirm that forced stimulus will include infrastructure and will be paid for by raising taxes. A new report out minutes ago says that Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden want to raise capital gains, inheritance tax, and also wealth tax to pay for the next stimulus package. Meantime, the breaking detail about the $14 third stimulus check is this. It will be landing in your bank account today and tomorrow, and could be the day after. It will not show pending. It will just appear. But if it doesn't appear, what then? More about that in a second. I'll tell you how to know what's going on with the deposit. But first, here's a commercial break, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds with more about what to expect for tomorrow, March 24th, on that direct deposit. Stay with me. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. It's a big afternoon with big updates across the board. And thank you for your great questions and comments. I see them right now. I'll be jumping into your live comments in a second, but I'm actually going to answer some of them I saw during the commercial break. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss a single minute. Boy, it's been a jam-packed day. I've had live feeds from the president, live feeds from Jerome Powell, and live feeds from Janet Yellen, and we'll jump into one of them in a second again. But let me tell you what's going on. First, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Let's try to get to 3,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. $1,400 third stimulus checks, which you think may be coming by direct deposit, may not. A large, that's the exact word from IRS, a large percentage of you that are expecting it to come by direct deposit will not get it by direct deposit ever. It will be instead going in the mail. This is a message I've been delivering since December, and it wasn't a very big situation in December. I would say maybe 20% of the viewers of this channel, maybe 10%. This time around, it looks like it's about 50% of my viewers, but IRS says of the American people that are expecting direct deposit, a large percentage of them will not get it by direct deposit. It will come in the mail. During the commercial break, someone said, Marie said, so will it show up at 12 o'clock tonight or just appear in the account for direct express? There's a couple things in that comment I want to address. She just is presuming it's going to appear in her card tomorrow. No. A large percentage of direct deposit consumers who are expecting the $14 third stimulus check to land by direct deposit will not get it by direct deposit. It will be coming in the mail. This is a very, very, very important message to deliver. I've been delivering the message since December, but a lot since last Wednesday. Watch the mail. It may be coming in the mail. Meaning, if you see it tomorrow in direct deposit, good. If you don't see it, then watch the day after, the 25th. If you don't see it on the 25th, it's likely in the mail. Next, the question also asked, will I see it tomorrow at 12:01? No. Somewhere along the lines over the last 30 years, there was some narrative that got out there that direct deposits only appear at 12:01, exactly as the clock hits 1 o'clock, like that Tom and Jerry cartoon. No, direct deposits can show throughout the day. And in the case of March 17th last week, they appear mostly in the middle of the day. On the West Coast, they generally appear at 9, 10, 11 o'clock all throughout the day. So no, very few viewers actually show it posting at 12:01 and 1 second. Most show it throughout the day, and most show it in the middle of the day. So that was a great question and comment. Another person said, Laura, we should receive it the same way we receive our benefits. You should. Another person said, it should come by direct deposit because I got the first and second stimulus by direct deposit. You're right. You're exactly right. But it's not. It's not. It's the it's the federal government. They can do it the way they want to do it. And that is the big message I have for you, that I don't want you to miss it in the mail. Recap. These are banks that have paid stimulus checks to viewers of this channel. And of the big banks, you're going to see the funds post tomorrow. Why? Because Chase has already indicated to countless viewers of this channel, March 24th will be the effective date to see the funds in your account. March 24th, Chase. Wells has told us to viewers of this channel. So if you're a big bank customer, you will see it post the 24th, or it's going to be in the mail. These are the banks that have paid stimulus checks so far to viewers of this channel. Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp Chime, PayPal, NetSpend. Also Green Dot. Let me stop right there. Green Dot paid a viewer yesterday their stimulus check. So which one is that? It's the March 24th one. It's not the March 17th. It's the March 24th, because Green Dot is a smaller bank, and just as the IRS said, some banks may choose to release the funds before the 24th. People United Bank has paid stimulus checks out. Also, U.S. Bank, PNC, Capital One Bank, Lake Michigan, Union Bank, MetaBank, Navy Federal, BT&E, Wake Forest, USAA, Bank America Chase, Wells Fargo, also H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, and TurboTax. Let me jump into some of your questions and comments right now and see what some of the other people say. Let's see. Someone just says, Ratasha says Commerce Bank just posted pending. So this is a rare circumstance in which it does show pending. But that's unusual. So congratulations. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. There's Crump Family Values. IRS says it will be mailed on on March 26th. I bank with Bank America. So let me address Crump Family Value situation. That's the screen name of the viewer, March 26th. While the effective date of the mailing is March 26th, which is the most common date I have seen for viewers, mail March 26th, mail March 27th, mail March 28th, most of the viewers have gotten it before that date. So watch the mail Crump Family Values, because it may come before that date. Great news. If you're just joining me, the wonderful, very long House Committee on Financial Services just concluded their extremely long questioning. My goodness, how long was that? 2 hours. Asking Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen a lot about what's going on with your stimulus. And the overwhelming message was that forced stimulus will be done by attempting to raise taxes. I think I need to use the word attempting more often, because the idea that's going to work, yeah. The Democrats still don't even want that. And also Jerome Powell, for purposes of third stimulus, said, don't worry. Nothing has really changed. I'm staying the way I am. I'm not going to modify anything. So don't worry about anything at all. Let me jump back into some more of your incredible comments and questions that you have to today's video as well. Where are we? Let me put up a picture of the Eiffel Tower. Let's see. Federal Credit Union for the Pentagon paid me last week. Oh, congratulations, Michael. Thank you for the super chat. Anything on rent moratorium? Oh boy, Bradley. Yes, I had that at the top of the video. The eviction moratorium is set to expire in just a few days. The CDC has a new quote out minutes ago in which they said, we do want to extend it, but when news reporters asked the president if he will extend it, he refused comment. I don't know why he would refuse comment on this. Very, very peculiar. Danielle, nothing pending on Direct Express. Don't worry, because most of the time it is not pending. It just appears. Let's see some of the other great questions. Stockyard Bank in Louisville, Kentucky. Anything? Gary, no, I haven't heard anything about Stockyard Card. Oh, there's Tahisha Brown. Now, this is a rare circumstance. Tahisha Brown says Comerica Bank Direct Deposit Express Card, Direct Express, shows pending for March 24th and has shown that since last week. So in the case of Tahisha Brown, she has got an alert much similar to this one, if I can grab it. Here it is. She has got an alert that Direct Express shows pending for March 24th. Now, understand, most viewers will not get an alert that it's pending. It will just appear. But in the case of Tahisha, it actually now shows it's pending. Great question, great comment. I appreciate that. Let me see some more of your incredible comments. Regions Bank. Nothing yet from Regions Bank. Deborah Thomas from Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is going to do a big drop, and it will be tomorrow, March 24th. So stay vigilant and stay attentive to that as well. Let me tell you where we are as we go into the bottom of the hour. boy, it is a full, robust day. Let me tell you what's going on. $14 third stimulus checks will be landing in your bank account tomorrow. It's the big day. It is a big day. And that big day will involve a big drop of stimulus checks tomorrow. Some may post today, but tomorrow's the 24th. That will be the big day. Throughout the day, they will post. It may post with ever saying any pending status ahead of time. It may just appear. Then on the 25th, more may appear. But after that, if you do not see a stimulus check in your bank by the 25th, it is in the mail. IRS is saying if you don't see it by the 24th, it's in the mail. Well, guess what? Some viewers saw it in the mail last Thursday and Friday and Saturday and yesterday. So it already is in the mail. The mail stimulus checks went out a week ago yesterday. The last wave of this direct deposit checks went out last Friday, and the effective date of the stimulus check is the 24th. Meantime, new video from the White House talking about the violence in Boulder. This was a video which I had to cut into live earlier, and you didn't get to see the whole video. Let's see a little bit of the president's comments minutes ago, which you saw live on Mornings LA at the tail end.
Motivation of the killer in Boulder, Colorado, and other critical aspects of this mass shooting. I've been briefed this morning by the Attorney General of the United States, the Director of the FBI. I've spoken with the governor, and I'll be speaking with the mayor on the aircraft. We're working very closely with the state and local law enforcement officials, and they're going to keep me updated as they learn more. You're going to ask me to speculate, understandably, you'd ask me to speculate about what happened, why it happened, and I'm not going to do that now because we don't have all the information, not until I have all the facts. But I do know this, as president, I'm going to use all the resources at my disposal to keep the American people safe. As I said, at this moment, a great deal remains unknown, but three things are certain. First, 10 lives have been lost, and more families have been shattered by gun violence in the state of Colorado. And Jill and I are devastated, and the feeling, I just can't imagine how the families are feeling, the victims whose futures were stolen from them, from their families, from their loved ones, who now have to struggle to go on and try to make sense of what's happened. Less than a week after the horrific murders of 8 people and the assault on the AAPI community in Georgia, while the flag was still flying half-staff for the tragedy, another American city has been scarred by gun violence and the resulting trauma. And the state, I even hate to say it because we're saying it so often, my heart goes out. Our hearts go out for the survivors, who had to flee for their lives and who hid, terrified, unsure if they would ever see their families again, their friends again. The consequences of all this are deeper than I suspect we know. By that I mean the mental consequences, the feeling of, anyway, it's just been through too many of these. The second.
And there you go. The latest comments from the President of the United States. Coming up at the bottom of the hour are the big news about the incredible progress from the movie industry and how you could actually start to see a movie normal once again. Meantime, great news as foreign governments and foreign countries may be starting to buy your products once again because they're getting the benefit of the stimulus. Elsewhere, the gaming industry continues to rebound with its best numbers it's seen in many years. And elsewhere, we look back on the 1-year anniversary of when COVID hit and the stock market crashed and how America has started to rebuild. I'll show you where we're going and what's going on next. Elsewhere, if one of the things I forgot to mention, and this just happened minutes ago, there's a new report after just the great news from AstraZeneca earlier this week that Pfizer, yes, Pfizer, is now in first round trials of a COVID vaccine pill, where you take it by a pill, not a shot, but actually just throwing it in your mouth with some water and maybe a little bit of bacon. How are you? If you have not subscribed, please subscribe because, boy, this is one of those days. It's just a lot of news. It's just a lot of news. Let me see if I can cover everything just quickly before I jump into the next video with you. $40 stimulus check tomorrow, direct deposit. Not by tomorrow, the 25th, then it's in the mail. Watch the mail. It may be there today. Paper check or debit card. Watch the mail. White envelope, beige envelope. Also, forced stimulus already being worked on by the White House, and they're going to raise taxes, or at least they're going to try to raise taxes. Capital gains, also state taxes, and also wealth taxes are what they're proposing. The rest of the Democrats don't want to do it. It's likely not going to work. So what's going to happen? We don't know. Jerome Powell testified before Congress just minutes ago, said that this economy is not back to normal. I'm going to continue to support it. All really great news. Meantime, viewers are starting to see new alerts, but you may not see an alert before the deposit occurs. Some may be posting in the comments, I got an alert, but don't worry because it may just post the deposit tomorrow and without an alert. Elsewhere, watch that mail. And guess what? I'm back with you in just 5 minutes as Noontime LA continues with more about this breaking news. I'm going to sort through it and separate it out for you. And hopefully nothing else shocks me off my feet because, boy, it's been one of those jam-packed news days. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Let's see if we could do 2,000-3,000 likes. I enjoy your comments and questions. And guess what? In the next video, I'll be in them really deeply. So bring your questions on the next video. Someone had a really great question about what happens, what address do they go off of? And another viewer answered the viewer's question. I adore that. Help one another. Help one another. When you know the answer to the question, help the other person if you see the question and you know the answer. And with that, stay positive, stay focused, and join me in just 3 minutes as the next video gets underway on Home LALATE.